Last summer, I went to a country concert with my sister. The country concert was at Put-in-Bay. We took the ferry to the island. We saw Hardy and Ernest. It was so much fun because I love country music. My favorite artist was Ernest.
Okay, so for Lamp, it took me at least 2 hours, probably maximum 3 hours, but I want to say 2 to 2.5. That's just the amount of time I spent learning how to do my specific folder and adding it on. How hard or easy was it to navigate Lamp? I thought it was kind of hard to navigate it. It took a really long time, and I had to look through multiple videos, multiple like help pages on the website, and I had to talk through each step with some classmates. I just found it very confusing and hard to navigate how to specifically set it up. I don't know. What was hard about it was just finding everything was hard for me, just navigating it. I personally did not think it was very user-friendly. There were a lot of steps that it took to add just one simple thing. Like just adding a folder, it took multiple steps, and you had to pick from various like layouts and stuff like that. I just thought it was very difficult to navigate the system. What did I like about the app? I like the idea of the whole motor planning thing, it only taking 2 to 3 clicks. I found that very cool and interesting. I personally just had a hard time trying to figure out that layout, and I think it would take a lot of practice and time to get that down as a clinician to add things. But I did find that very cool and interesting, just like the science and thought behind it with the motor planning. I think that's very interesting. So I did create my own folder. That process was very hard to me for some reason. What was hard about it, again, was just I had to go through multiple sources just to figure out how to add it, and I thought that a lot of my stuff was getting deleted, but it was just in different areas of the system, I guess. I just didn't think it was very user-friendly. Personally, as a new clinician practicing on it for the first time, I just found it very difficult to navigate the system. Did I include all the words, buttons for my 5 sentences in the folder, or just the fringe words? I included all my words in the sentences. Personally, my rationale behind it was that I had a hard time figuring out the system, and once I found a folder, I just wanted to include everything in that folder. So when I went to go and take the video, it was all in one spot, and I didn't have to spend a lot of time clicking to try to find where my specific words were for my core words. I just thought that would take less time. I probably should have learned like how to click through it all and stuff. I just personally, I was very frustrated trying to figure out the system, and I just wanted everything to be in the same spot. So that's why I included all of my words for my 5 sentences in one folder. Let's see, now, what if I was a full-time user of this app, meaning that I could use it to communicate all everywhere. What are some pros and cons of the way that I set it up? Some pros for that specific instance, I had to have all the words that I needed for my 5 sentences in that one folder. That'd be very convenient if I were to only say those 5 sentences. Cons would be that I would have multiple words, like including my core words in different spots, and I know that's not how you're supposed to set it up, because I just had trouble trying to figure out where to put the folder. I ended up deleting a button, and I know that's not something that you want to do with LAMP because of the whole motor planning aspect of it. So that's definitely with a con with the way I set it up, was that I deleted something, and that affects like the entire system. And another con of that would be that it could be confusing to the user if I were to use it all the time, and I've got multiple words in different spots. And if it's for motor planning, you should have one word in one spot for it to be easier to remember. Let's see, think about the placement of the buttons considering the users overall. Oh, and the placement of the buttons, I guess that would be with the multiple spots. I think that would be very confusing if I were to use it all the time, and I think that would definitely affect my literacy development and operational competence with the device itself having different aspects just with the way that the system is supposed to be set up. Let's see, and LAMP is based on motor planning. Let's see. What do I think about this principle? I really like the idea of everything is there within 2 to 3 clicks. Motor planning is very big when using these AAC devices, and I'm seeing that a lot in my clinical. That's a big pro to the LAMP system itself, is that every single thing that you would need are within those clicks. So personally, I love that system, and I see it being used with like the kids that I'm seeing in my clinical and how effective that can be for them. Did I find it easier to find the buttons that I needed over time? I used it within the 2 hours. I really struggled. I think it would take a lot of time, a lot of repetition and practice to use that motor planning in LAMP. I think that it's very difficult if you're first getting to know the system, but I can definitely see the benefits over time, and it will become easier because that's just part of motor planning. The more you do it, the more repetitions, the easier it gets. But yeah, I personally, in that short amount of time for this specific project and with how specific it is, I would need to practice a lot more to become more efficient at it. And yeah, that's basically my experience with LAMP.